Hi guys, Iron Cameraman here. Boom decided to make us happy today with a post in the YouTube community where he showed a very cool GIF animation, and he did it in honor of overcoming 40 million subscribers. And as you might have guessed, even here he was able to add some interesting oddities and riddles, which we will talk about today. But as you'll notice from the title of the video, that's not the only thing you'll learn today. The thing is that back in the analysis, I told you about my concerns about Cameraman Titan because of the fact that he took one of Astro Scorpion's hands. And now I've been able to gather enough evidence that the Titan is in real danger, and not just because of that. And among other things, I'd like to thank you for your 100,000 subscribers before I do that. Just a couple hours ago, our channel passed such a huge number. The most interesting thing is that it happened almost at the same moment, along with a new post from DAFUQBOOM. A very interesting coincidence, actually. By the way, did you know that if all viewers subscribed to the channel, we would have 1 million subscribers? And that's because still 90% of viewers watch me without subscribing. So let's fix that statistic so that our family can grow even faster. Thank you for being active and supportive. Anyways, here we go. We're going to start by analyzing this GIF animation. Right away, what first catches your eye is, of course, the very cool dancing Speaker Man Titan, as well as the Astro Toilet flying in the background. All the other big iconic characters are also here, each doing different actions. For example, Cameraman Titan shows a like. He must be very happy with his new arm. TV Man Titan, on the other hand, is not happy with something and is thinking how to quickly kill all the Skibidi Toilets instead of doing a photo shoot here. We've gotten used to TV men being a serious race unlike everyone else. Note the TV woman and the big TV man, they don't dance either. Although meanwhile, the scientist cameraman, red cameraman, speaker woman, and even dark speaker man are dancing their asses off. By the way, about red cameraman, who is interested, he is still with torn clothes, as in episode 70, so who likes this trick? Do not worry. DAFUQ will leave these clothes with a hole for a long time. Here, by the way, you can also spot our favorite plunger sitting on the toilet. This is a reference to episode 43. It was in that episode that he was with his friend Cameraman the Scientist. Remember when I talked about this back in my analysis of part 1 of episode 72? Back then, I assumed that he, like the detective Cameraman, would investigate the death of the plunger to find the true culprit. After all, as we remember, he started sparking because of the secret agent, not because of the aftermath of the fight. And notice that everyone who died in episode 70 is here, but only the Skibidi scientist is missing, which means the scientist is definitely irretrievably dead since he's not shown here in any way. It might also be a little hint of Plunger and Dark Speakerman coming back in episode 77 or 80. By the way, I'll have a separate video about this soon with all my observations and details that point to it. Since we started talking about comebacks, of course I couldn't pass up the most mysterious character in this animation. And no, I'm not talking about the secret agent doing the mewing. I'm talking about this cameraman standing in the distance. Notice that he's doing nothing and is absolutely motionless. We saw the exact same mystical observer in the part 1 of episode 72 from behind the Skibidi mutant. And it was so stealthy that unless you light up the video, it's almost invisible. This isn't the first time DAFUQBOOM has done this, but before we at least knew who the character was, here it feels like he doesn't want us to know. He puts it so far away that it's not even clear if his coat is black or dark brown. After that, I immediately remembered DAFUQBOOM's answer to one of my interview questions. When I asked if Simp Cameraman would return, he said maybe. And knowing how many fans this character has and viewers who are waiting for his appearance, I think there is no doubt in my mind that this mysterious character is Simp Cameraman. Also, some of my subscribers have suggested that this is Detective Cameraman. However, since he's not wearing a hat, I don't think it's him. And the third popular assumption is the opinion that it's just one of DAFUQBOOM's assistants, such as one of the twins. But either way, whoever it is, I love details like this, so hopefully he'll give us a little more information about him soon. Now let's get to the main topic of the video. So why do I think Cameraman Titan could be damaged or even killed? It's not just me talking about it. A lot of people have started talking about it. I've noticed it in your comments. And these concerns are not only due to his new hand. but also due to the fact that it's been a long time since any of the Titans have hesitated and gone for improvements. And it was Cameraman Titan that was the very first Titan to be improved in the series. And that happened way back in episode 50. As for the hand, like I said, it's possible that hand is still under G-Man's control. And when they get close to each other, he can take control and repeat the scene from episode 67, where poor Cameraman Titan almost killed himself. Since this has already happened in the series, it adds even more to the likelihood of such an outcome, because DAFUQBOOM loves to make references to his own past episodes. The last time, for example, he made one of these references was in episode 72, when Astro Scorpion caught his head and tried to kill him with a knife, just like in episode 60. Let me tell you, in general, how this new G-Man technology works, so you can see why I'm so confident in this theory. We saw with the Astro Scorpion example that when it explodes, the projectile takes complete control of the body part that absorbed it. If you look at its first reaction, it's clear that unlike the glow of the TV men, the projectile has no mind control because the Astro, even after absorption, could resist with one remaining claw. So it works more like a computer virus that takes control of the machinery. Again, recalling the analogy of Octavius from Spider-Man. As we know, each individual claw has its own separate controller, and it can fail at any time. In fact, this is the best option if everything is as I described above, as in this case, it won't be difficult for the Titans to help their friend, because they are usually always there for them. But in case everything goes according to the worst scenario, and it turns out that the hand will be able to take over the mind of the entire body cameraman, then there will be big problems. This scenario is also possible because Cameraman Titan started talking only after the hand was connected. This means that it was the hand that was able to add the ability that was characteristic of its previous owner. And that adds even more questions. Since the ability carried over from Astro Scorpion, does that mean that the effects of G-Man's technology are no longer acting on the arm, and the control has become autonomous? Or worse, that Astro Scorpion has regained access to that arm. Since I'm used to looking at my theories from different angles, it would be wrong not to mention the criticism. Many people don't believe that Cameraman Titan or any other Titan can get damaged anytime soon, as it's hard to imagine such a thing happening. Even against Astro Guard or multiple Astro Toilets at once, it's unlikely that 3 of the strongest agents can take 2 critical damage. Oh, and technology doesn't stand still, and very soon we may see an antivirus they can use to bypass the risk of infection from those blobs of energy from G-Man's core. By the way, about Astro Guard, I forgot to mention in the analysis that he was most likely the one that Astro UFO from the extra scene was talking to. If you look closely, the color of the screen was glowing red, and that was the color that many of the details of the Astro Guard were glowing. When UFO arranged for the Guardian to get ahead of Scorpion in critical situations, Astro Scorpion immediately had a smile on his face and flew. And chronologically, I'll remind you that this extra scene took place before episode 70, and that's where that famous "you all will die" phrase of his was. He wasn't afraid of them, because even if the Titans had been able to hurt him somehow, the Guardian would have saved him. And the phrase about the death of the Titans wasn't just idle chatter, by the way. Let me explain why. Astro Guard's appearance is very similar to the Combine Soldier, with a pulse rifle from Half-Life 2. And this means that there are at least several of these guys. And as you understand, if they appear before the Titans in a group, then Scorpion's words will not seem so groundless as it seemed before. Of course, to expect death directly, Cameraman Titan, it is hardly worth it. But at least his hard damage or damage to one of the other Titans is very likely. And at the end, don't forget to subscribe to my Discord server, the link is in the description. And check out my other videos, like the analysis of Part 2 of Episode 72 if you haven't seen it yet, or a new video on my other channel, Moon Titan. Bye.